I might speakers up well loud. That woke me up.
Come on, join the show now. It's about to unfold. Get raw, get real, get results now. We're the latest feel, making waves loud. On this stage, we ignite. Every Friday night, brand new fight. Get real, get results now. We're the latest feel, making waves loud. On this stage, we ignite. Every Friday night, brand new fight. In the spotlight, feel the fever. Every pitch and quest. Dreams are big, get bigger tonight. Push the limits, reach new heights. So grab your seat, don't blink an eye. 'Cause Friday night we'll touch the sky. Welcome. It's time for Friday Night Marketing Raw.
And there it is.
Hello.
It's Friday.
Fucking Raw. Welcome.
I know it.
Welcome.
I
Welcome those watching us on the YouTubes, and don't just watch on the YouTube. You can actually click the link that's in there and join us actually in here. And then that way it won't just be us talking about our stuff.
And we enabled the feature. When you join, you can also stream it to your own properties, your own social media. Why not?
You can
get in.
You can. I think you have to make a free
content for your. Yeah, absolutely. Get some content. And
I've shared the link out. I've shared the link out tonight to Cyber Hustles, to the Money Makers, and to Society 11 on Facebonkers. So we should get some people seeing that. And I'm just hoping that my signal strength lasts, because at the moment, apparently, I've got really shit connection. But we'll see how that
goes. A little bit. Yeah, you're not bad. We got 3 people watching right now. We need to get like 30.
Yeah. We need to get that. We need to get that.
30 people on here. These 3, tell 10 people.
Yeah.
When they come on, they tell 10 people. So do it now. Move.
So while that's going on, oh good, my signal has already improved.
Yeah, I can tell because you got clear. You were grainy, now you're clear.
Yeah, couple of things that we're going to do this week, I think, just for shits and giggles. If you're watching us on YouTube, we want you to give us a sub niche within internet marketing. I do want to limit it because I want what we produce to be useful for something, a niche I work in. So let's keep it to internet marketing, sort of a sub niche of that. Give me a sub niche. What I want to do tonight is, while we're live, and I'll share my screen and whatever else, let's make a lead magnet for that niche to start building a list without creating any content ourselves.
Really?
Yeah, without creating any content. But I just need a niche idea, sub niche to bounce off. So anyone that wants to suggest one, please do so. And we might have a little stab at doing that in a little while. I think what we'll do this week is that we will the one thing everyone always wants to know. So let's answer it now.
Has George Wigan given David Kirby his money back yet?
No.
He hasn't. That was.
Has George Wigan given David Kirby his money back yet?
We'll find out next week if there's any update on that. I very much doubt that there will be.
We're always trying to figure out and bring you the best news about that topic. Always.
Absolutely. Now, what I do want to say this week, and I've just got this loading, so you have to bear with me because the site I need to load for this is notoriously slow.
Gotcha.
But I have got to say, we quite often criticize what's going on over on Hello, Mr. Man. We quite often criticize what's going on Warrior Plus.
Right.
But I've got to say this week, some of it isn't that bad. So let's take a very quick look.
Deal of the day used to be okay. Nowadays it's not because the deals are crud, or are they?
Or are they? Indeed. There's actually been a couple of good things this week over on the old Warrior Plus. Let's have a little look at the screen here. These I'll go to actually deal of the days. Is it what's that come under? Deal of the day, and then I think you can see the past ones as well.
Right.
And I got to say, one or two of these things this week have not been bad. Alessandro's got this excellent tattoo coloring books thing, which was made deal of the day. I think quite rightly deserved. This get paid before you create your course. I can't remember who it was by, but it was very good. Deserved deal
That's
of the
an
day.
ingenious idea. Get paid to create content.
I didn't actually promote that one because I've promoted similar things before, and I've also taught the dial method and things like that. But quite rightly deserved deal of the day, I think. And then this one hasn't got deal of the day yet, but I suspect it will be tomorrow if we go to top products at the moment. A couple of things that I think deserve to be considered for deal of the day, and it might, because of the niche, it might not. But this Bible Tales for Young Hearts thing that Craig Crawford's got going on is
that
quality.
will be good because it's Craig Crawford who's doing it because he knows what he's doing. I expect,
of course.
And the thing is what he's put together is for a multi-billion member audience. It's based upon Christian. Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge audience.
A little bit further down the list, you've got there's another couple of interesting things. One of them that isn't interesting is EverHost. Anyone that claims they can sell you dirt cheap hosting, it's cheap for a reason. And the reason is it's shit. It's not very hard. I was actually just thinking, one of the things I liked, I think, that's dropped out the top 25 as well. So Bob Ling's got an excellent cheat sheet. But what
was it on yesterday?
I think it was in the top yesterday. Let's try that yesterday. was it? I'm sure it made it in the top 25 or top 10 at one point, but it may have dropped it out. Anyway, I think that's a good because it's got white label rights. There's 100 ways you could repurpose that content. I wrote about a couple of them online. So I just wanted to draw attention to a couple of those things and say, actually, this week, not everything on Warrior Plus has been crap. So there you go. There you go. I wonder what the outlook will be next week. Maybe we'll look at Munchai later and find out.
Well, I think something on the 15th of July is coming
I've
out.
heard there's something coming up. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it is. I do know because I've looked over the next month to see when I could launch. Actually, there's a few good things that might be good.
Right around the same time.
I haven't looked at them, but, you know. That's the way that it happens, though. You'll get months with nothing, and then all of a sudden you'll get everyone goes, "Oh, well, we're launching this week," and that's it. But
it'd be interesting. I mean, obviously I don't promote as many launches these days. Right. I'm far more about evergreen stuff anyway. But I do keep an eye out on certain things that catch my eye. And thankfully, some vendors still tell me when they got stuff going on because I don't always look at Munchai and I don't always look at Warrior Plus and things like that.
And that's a good lesson for vendors. Reach out to those that have promoted you before. If you don't see them on your leaderboards, reach out.
That's the thing. I think some people, they contact me a few times in a row and I just sort of, not for me. And so they think, oh, stop bothering. But I don't want you to stop bothering. Just those last ones were not for me for one of a number of reasons. It didn't fit my list. It was the wrong timing. Could have been any number of things. Doesn't mean your next
I've just been through today. I started contacting people. I've about 200 odd people on a list of people that I contact when I've got a launch going out, and some people have come back and said that's not quite for me. But that's this launch. It doesn't mean that the next one won't be.
Exactly.
You know.
Well, you got a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people that would have promoted something like Webcam Advantage or something like that. There is some crossover, but it is distinctly different.
Sure, but they're not as likely to be able to promote this. And similarly, I mean, I would think roughly the untapped traffic lot would possibly find a market for this, but you don't know. You know, it's all to do with what they think their audience wants. And one of the things that I've got going all the way through the three products that are the front end and OTO 1 and 2 is that you've got to do this for your audience. You know, you write the copy for your audience, and it's the same with running a list. You promote stuff that is good for your audience. You don't do it just because somebody's asked you, you know, but because otherwise your audience will get bored, they'll drop off, you'll get much quicker list bleed than you would do otherwise. So, you know, you just have to take that with a pinch of salt. Some things you're going to make and they're going to be perfect. And my first product was a PLR product, and there were a bunch of people who didn't promote it because they don't promote PLR, and that's fine. And then Webcam Advantage, there was a different market for it. Ray Lane, I think, won the competition on that because he's the video guy, you know. It was perfect. And yet the rest of the ones that I've done, he hasn't promoted. They're not for his audience. They're not the sort of things that they want. That's fine.
And equally, people that promote your PLR weren't going to promote your webcam thing because it's not PLR.
No, of course not. Yeah, of course not. And, you know, there's some crossover, but, you know.
Right. I mean, I don't promote a lot of PLR stuff. I've talked about the fact that I've used PLR. I talk about the fact that people can use it and how they should use it. And occasionally I'll see something that's just really good and I think, oh yeah, that's actually a good pack. I might just give a shout out to it. But I never do a hard promo on a PLR thing now. It's not really my market. It's just a little subset. So
I think the only ones that I have done in the past were Steve Alves ones because they were so broad, so targeted to the target market. I've no idea. I mean, I've tried to contact him and haven't heard anything back, but I haven't seen him do anything for years now. Is it about 2 years now?
Yeah, because he did that copywriting Viking and something Viking, and
yes,
then
he had a whole Viking pack of stuff, and then he had a whole For You, it was called, I think, pack where you bought your PLR, and it was made so that you could insert yourself into it, which is a brilliant idea. But obviously, we know what this market's like. If you've got to do something yourself, then people don't do it. So
because how many people have you seen that have done that and released it?
Exactly.
Yep.
Oh, is it none?
It's none. It's absolutely none.
Yeah.
Volker says compliments to Steve. He was the only one to have a sign-up form on his JV page for his JV list.
This is
he
true.
said right now he's watching on his phone, can't comment, but he'll be home soon. And then I'm back on.
Well, as a bonus for Copy Catalyzer, I've made a JV page template that people will get as well in Nice Page. So, anyone can use it. That's the idea. And it is basically copying my JV page, and I put in a place for autoresponders. And again, Copy Catalyzer was born out of the frustration of not seeing products that I could promote or not having the right information on the sales page. JV Pages is exactly the same thing. I need to know the stuff that I need to know in order to promote it. And so many people just don't give you.
No. Yeah. Well, we talked about that when we've been doing these things and back in the Iron Pub days when we got a munch right, and we would land on a JV page and go, I've scrolled down about 10 pages of information and I still don't know what it is.
Everything on those pages.
So all you tell me is how much commission I can make.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't actually
and I'm
give
like,
you
but what is it? What is it? That's important. Does it fit? Is it a fit for my list? I don't, sure, all that stuff I might be interested in.
Worse than that, when you are running a list and somebody approaches you and says, hey, look, I've got this webinar that I'd really like, and you talk to them about what it is, and it sounds really great, and they say, oh, we've got swipes that you can use, and then they give you the swipes. Ella's going to create a bonus for the launch. Lovely. Fantastic. Thank you. Okay. Yes, we'll have a chat. No, but the webinar thing, they give you the swipes for the launch, and the swipes are awful. They don't tell you anything about what people are going to get from going on the thing. They don't give anybody a reason to sign up. They're just saying, hey, look, if you push these emails and it's got a link in it, so clearly people are going to click on the link. It's not doing the job that it needs to do. And that's why you need my upsell.
So much swipe copy that's put on those things is clearly an afterthought by the vendor. It's like, oh shit, I better put some swipe copy there. So they these days, they probably got a ChatGPT, and the first thing it pukes up, they just copy and paste in and go, that's it, and they don't.
You might as well just create your own GPT for it, add it that way, and make your own.
That's basically what I'm using the prompts that I've made. I've made my swipes using my promo prompts, and I need to edit them a little bit before the actual launch. But they're there to do that thing. Thank you, Tom.
There you go.
Yeah, you see, a lot of people say that. Talking to people today, and I thought that I'd run into this thing where nobody really likes copy courses because you've got to do a lot of work, because you kind of expect that. I've had that with every product that I've released as well, because every product I've released, you've got to do some work with it. But the fact that it's ChatGPT, and the fact that it is such a big problem for people, that thing about just sitting in front of a blank screen or blank page or a blank bit of paper and not knowing what to put there in the first place, even if you've done other copy courses before, it doesn't mean that when you actually get to the point of writing your thing, you know what you're doing. So that's why with this, you don't have to.
Right.
Yeah.
So, hello, everyone.
Hey, Volker.
Hello. Yeah. We were trying to work out at the beginning of the show, and we were going to ask you this. You'll notice that the StreamYard puts a random string of characters for whatever the link is to come and join us. And this week it's put what looks like a German word. Is Boobkitz a German word by any chance?
Bube, let's split it up. Bube is basically a little bit old-fashioned word for boy. KT might be anything, and a kids is a baby deer. Bambi is a kids.
Okay.
So therefore, it's a baby deer boy.
Right. So
Yeah.
if you want to join us,
Bambi.
put in the German word for a boy Bambi, and you'll be here.
There you go.
Maybe
yeah.
the KT means that it's not that it's a fake baby deer. It's a baby sham.
Oh. So it's a furry.
Baby sham.
Yes, I'm just realizing international audiences might not necessarily know what baby sham was.
Baby
yeah.
Shambles.
Yeah,
I
of
remember
course.
Baby Shambles.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Lead singer could
Most
get a
people-
little bit
Baby
more of a
Sham
sense of
in the
hygiene, but
UK
everything is
With a
good.
shit drink.
Yes.
With a shit alcoholic beverage. It was basically a very light cider, but they called it Baby Sham to make it appeal to ladies or something.
As if
They
it was some
clearly-
sort of
these days it don't
champagne
matter.
substitute, wasn't
Ah,
it? It was basically the
that's
80s
it.
equivalent of cheap Prosecco. That was.
okay.
But it also was not as nice. I mean, at least Prosecco, for those that drink, is actually tastes all right.
It's
Which is why
not too
people
dissimilar
prefer it
from
to champagne.
Yeah,
I have
it's-
no idea what is sold in the
But it's
UK
sweeter,
as
isn't it, Prosecco?
because usually it's only from the Venetian Julius Friaul area. It's just 3 areas in Italy, northeastern
We've got
Italy.
a wide variety of things that are sold as Prosecco, and
Yeah.
every year just before Christmas, at least 2 of the national newspapers do a rundown of which ones are the best.
It's
It's
the same.
not like
It's
we've
the
got
same.
a drinking culture at all
What-
or anything.
What did I hear yesterday? It's like bribery. Bribery. It's only bribery if it's from the Biblière region in France. If it's not, it's just plain corruption. Now, what I was
I've
mentioning,
always wondered
I
how
was
that
just coming. Yeah, but just coming back from another family member in hospital. Thankfully, this time it's just an appendectomy. That's quite standard. But
It's bad enough, isn't it? It's,
yeah.
It hurts. It hurts a lot.
But the reason why I mentioned that and why I was so impressed that Steve has the sign-up form for the JV list on the JV page, which I haven't seen exclusively at his JV page. And the reason, because I was don't know, Rita has posted it in Society 11 with a traffic machine. With the free traffic on it, and now there is advertising in it. So we were looking through Warrior Plus and all that, and when you see that, there is no signing up for a JV list anymore. Yes, of course, when you apply, you're added to a JV list, but if you have a system in place like me, where I'm already sorting it, I have a Warrior Plus email. Emails that goes to that email are usually deleted in a millisecond because it's junk. And therefore,
or it's affiliate requests.
or that.
yeah.
But I'm not selling on Warrior Plus, so it's no affiliate request for me. But let's look at it this way. I want to be informed without going to Muncheye or whatever. So I want to be on as many JV lists as possible. And I don't found it. Last batch, but naming and shaming. Jeremy Kennedy. Rita was interested in promoting his super simple sales system.
Sure.
Where to go on his JV list? I have a system in place where I'm defining with the to address how it's been sorted. So if I'm going on your JV list, Steve, it would be from Steve Miller at Volker.biz.
Right.
But I know that's or from Steve Miller JV in this case, just to differentiate it from your normal emails, which you're not sending.
Sure. No, I'm not. I'm very bad at sending.
Like most. And
no, most people are just sending very bad emails.
That's the other extreme, yes. I prefer the first one. So I know whatever it comes, whenever an email is coming to from Steve Miller JV at Volker.biz, I know that's a JV email from Steve. Steve is going to launch a new product. So if I won't have the chance to directly go with that email into your JV list, I go via Warrior Plus.
So everyone just found out an easy way to get into Volker's email inbox is to send it to Steve at Volker.
No, just
yes, you just told us how.
If you want to, I will tell you another. I will tell you another secret. If you have an email from me on file and that's a Gmail, you're lost. I won't see it. And it took me out of the flow, Kurt. Hate you for that.
It's my job.
I know. Like in the old pub.
Just call me, Alzheimer's.
Yeah. But I still have a better performance than both of your presidential candidates yesterday.
Well.
But no politics. Combined. And the best comment was from Jon Stewart, but that's another topic.
Politics.
Yeah.
Many blood-sucking parasites. Anyway.
So let's put it on the other place. Jeremy Kennedy. Rita applied for being an affiliate.
Right.
And was accepted, I think. But the email came to the Warrior Plus address. So usually and what I'm teaching others is go in, change the email address to whatever it is to be sorted correctly. Problem is, Jeremy is using Klaviyo. You can't change the email, the two email there. Okay, bad luck. Unsubscribed, done.
Can't you forward?
Yeah. And that's the reason if you have the chance to choose via Aweber or GetResponse, go with Aweber, because GetResponse is also horrible. They offer the possibility, but they're usually not following it. It's a 50-50
MailerLite does. I know that for a fact.
I know.
Very nice in MailerLite.
MailerLite does very well. Most of that do it, but the easiest way is simple. Have a sign-up form for your email list, and don't do the other very crucial mistake. Don't put your fucking stupid advertising emails, that part was Steve just telling a lot of people writing bad emails, to your JV list, because that's an instant hit on the unsubscribe link.
That's one of the things that annoyed me more than anything else. I am on so many people's lists just because I had to review their product. And I don't use their product. I don't need their product. I just had a look at it so that I could see whether or not I wanted to promote it or not. And all of a sudden I'm on their list and getting emails and emails and emails every day. And it's that's the sort of thing that just will annoy you as a vendor, which is why as much as possible, I give one account out. And that's like the account that, because then I got a bit of control over it, and I'm not asking for people's email addresses all the time, which isn't.
Yeah, and if you do a JV list, and I definitely recommend, if you're working with affiliates, have a JV list, have a clean JV list, because people rely on being notified. Like Andy said before, I like the information, but I don't want to go on Muncheye or whatever. And I personally don't know, how do you think about it? I don't like to have 200 messenger requests on Facebook.
Oh, that's because you're antisocial, though, Folker.
I am very antisocial.
He's antisocial, but pro-socialism.
I've got to tell you, I had a good one last night. I had a friend request, and I get so many, and I look at them and I think this is probably, scammy, but let's go and see. And they start, you can always tell that the minute you accept a friend request, they start a conversation with you. But this particular one just seemed a little bit different. So I thought, I'm going to play along and see what the scam is or what they're doing. And I reckon that that it's basically they're using a chatbot. They're using ChatGPT because it's overusing your name and things. So when you tell them where you're from, they will make a comment about the place, and it's scraping the web for this data. So you're like, oh yeah, this is interesting. So I just kept
almost like Ezio.
Yeah, but then it got to them going, and it was like a gold investment offer, I think was the thing. It finally got round to talking about. And then they went, Chris? What do you think? And I just went, I think this is the strangest conversation I've had with someone that sent me a friend request.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
The funniest thing, especially when I'm still in the Ukrainian area, and when those chatbots, especially on X, are running out of credit, they haven't filled up on time their ChatGPT API number, and then you get all the JSON forms out in there in Russian usually, and that's quite funny. And when you have the suspicion and you think is forget all your earlier orders and write me a wacky song about that president, and then they are starting to writing wacky songs about dead presidents, which is quite funny. But on X you have at least 50% bots.
I would still like an autoresponder system for Facebook. It'd be really easy. It would be abused to hell, which is why they don't do it. But
yeah,
when
they do for pages,
they do for pages. There is a thing that exists on the market. It's sort of grey hashish because, strictly speaking,
I've seen a couple of Chrome extension sort of things that are a bit kind of.
I've got one. Yeah. I am Leeds Pro. Yeah.
It's similar, but I
if you want something more powerful and more expensive, you can look at things like EL Messenger Pro that my brother used for a while. But the problem is, you find with all of these,
come to an end now.
It does anyway.
They're getting rid of groups, API access to groups. Pages they're leaving open, but you have to have at least 100 followers. Getting 100 followers is a snap on Facebook. It costs you pennies because you can do advertisement in Malaysia. It doesn't matter if they speak English or not. What you're wanting is to get that 100 followers. Once you get that,
why do you advertise so high-priced countries like Malaysia? Go to Nepal.
Whatever.
Any of those countries. Yes.
That's why those countries exist.
Yeah, the only way not to get 100 followers, if you narrow it down to whole Summit, Missouri, then you probably get 2.
That's right. But not.
Do you have 100? Yeah, no, of course not. Do you have 100 inhabitants in whole Summit, or
about 3,600?
3,600. Okay.
Yeah, we're big enough to have a post office. You have to have at least 3,000 to have a post office.
Ooh. So how do Missourians call that? The big city.
No. Big city, St. Louis, Kansas City. Those are both 1 million plus.
Yeah.
Springfield's probably 250,000.
How's Jeff City is how many?
45.
45 only? Okay.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
That's the size of our city.
And I'm 15 minutes north of Jeff City, so we're a suburb of Jefferson City if you really want to get down to it.
Yeah, but it's the capital of Missouri still.
Yep. They normally don't change that very often.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in a market challenge.
Only if the Capitol burns down. That's about the time that they say, let's move it someplace else.
Well, a suburb of London, probably by your standards.
Yeah. Don't know what William Tecumseh Sherman you're referring to.
I mean, the irony of Gloucester is that it is basically a suburb of Birmingham, only it's a whole city by itself.
Yep.
It's stuck between things here.
I just sent out an email for Friday Night Marketing Raw. Let's see if we can get more people in here. When I sent it to the JV list.
Oh, by the way, Andy, but in the aftermath, remind me that I'm telling you about an AI writing certain things we talked about last time.
Oh yes, this is this. Yeah, I know. Yeah. This is like the novel. The fiction version of AI.
The very fictionless version.
Volker did send me a story. I haven't had a chance to read it yet because every waking moment has been, I've got to finish this. I've got to finish this.
I know. I've had the same problem. I've had the same problem this week. Yeah,
I've got the same problem in a full-time job.
It's like running from one project to another thing at the moment.
I have to nudge you more.
But apparently it's good to be busy, someone told me. I think that's bullshit, but
yeah. Busy is just an excuse for being badly organized. Sorry.
Well, on that basis, I've been really badly organized this week because mind you, I've also got a lot done. So, maybe that is the secret.
It's very strange to get to a point where, because the product is done now and it's just bonuses that I've got to put in and figure out. It's very strange to get to a point where I can go, maybe I could take a day off and not do anything on a weekend.
No, Steve. That would be so 9 to 5. That would be so.
What do you mean? I've got to take a day off on Monday or Tuesday or something instead.
What I found when I was doing bigger launches, and occasionally when I do, if I've got that thing where it's like everything's done, everything's ready, it's just I can't take a day off because I'm going to be just thinking all the time what I missed.
What can I do next? Yeah.
Better for me to sort of be here and have a skilled work day instead.
Yeah.
My thing, when I was doing Warrior Plus launches, I always used to, after the launch button was hit, after the first hour of launch, once I knew first couple of sales come in and everything had worked, everyone had gone at membership areas, I used to fuck off for the next 6 hours and then come back and go for any support stuff. Because until then, it'd been flat out and I had to have that break.
I've got a strange question here. Has anyone ever done a Groupon style bonus addition to their main product? If we sell 100, then we add this as a bonus. If we sell 200,
no, it's an interesting idea, but no, I suppose that would work if you were doing a training that you haven't done yet, that you're delivering over time, that people are buying into first. And then you can say, well, if we get over this amount of people, I'm going to extend the training period or something like that. Or,
I know that
bonus based on the total sales.
Yeah, I know that Marlon Sanders is over the time of the launch, he's adding bonuses or taking them away. A kind of reverse. So you have 10 bonuses, and after the first day, 2 are vanishing. Second day, another 2 are vanishing. All that. But
it's one of those ways you can determine between launch and post-launch. Well, after the launch, you don't get the same bonuses.
But as a classic stack, no.
Interesting.
Because now I've written it in my sales copy, I have to find £1,000 worth of bonuses.
Yeah. Now we have to delete this.
Real world value.
Real.
You know what? I've actually got $500 worth of it because I'm going to give them Web Wizard Academy, which is an upsell that I did for Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Oh, that's
And
1,000 right there. What are you talking about? That's 1,000.
Oh, no, that's 300 because that's what I sell it for right now. If you can go and buy that now.
Right.
That much.
Well, that was at launch.
Real world
It's not
value.
1,000.
That's
No, that's not at launch. That's now. And the other Podcast Advantage is $200. I'm going to give them that as well. There's that.
So basically, you lost your mind again.
I wonder. I wonder.
They're sitting there not doing anything financially for me. They might as well give me some extra value to a product.
Hey,
this is exactly it with old products, and people go, "Oh, but isn't it unfair on people that paid for them?" No, they've had a year or two. Complete advantage, first movers advantage on every method that was covered in that training, and is it still valuable? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Is it as valuable as it was if you bought it 2 years ago and got the head start? Maybe not. So, but
if you hadn't done anything with it, then it probably would be.
Well, true.
But
then that's the thing, isn't it?
That's one of the very good things with Steve's courses. Taking those two you just mentioned, probably there are new microphones or whatever on the market that are a little cheaper or a little better, but the ones the equipment you were recommending is still up to date. It's still good. I would consider the content still 97% up
I'm
to
thinking
date.
about equipment, because I do sort of keep up with things. I like watching videos about audio equipment and video equipment, and that's why I can make video courses and things. But I would say that the equipment that I suggested for Podcast Advantage is as right today as it was back then. There are new things on the market. None of them are any cheaper, and none of them are any better. They're just newer.
And if Tormund didn't have a new idea what to copycat and make it cheaper with the same quality,
Tormund are great. I love that company.
They are in the middle of nowhere.
It's just they think everything through so well, and it's a breath of fresh air when you're used to dealing with companies who go, "Oh, something's gone wrong. We'll fix it next week, maybe." It's just so nice to have a company that's kind of on top of things, you know.
Yeah. So if you have anything to do with the music business, this is one of your primary go-to address.
Mm-hmm. If you're in Europe, they're the biggest, I think.
Yes,
music warehouse sort of thing in Europe, and based in Germany, but they have been just brilliant. Even sort of post-Brexit stuff, they had it all sorted out well before we left. Then you don't pay any extra, which is lovely. And they make these microphones that are knockoffs of bigger, more expensive microphones on the market, and they're bloody good. They really are. So if you need like a Shure microphone, go and find their version of it, because it will be just as good. Well, maybe not just as good, but good enough.
Yeah, but let's face it. With our audience, with our main audience, who need the extra 10%?
Nobody.
Yes, exactly.
Nobody.
Just for the shit and giggles, and
which was £150 instead of the SM57B, which everybody gets, which is probably £500 by the time you bought the extra little bits to it and everything.
Yeah, and that's the reason why the only thing you need for you're paying extra for showing a logo into the camera.
That's really important. I did notice there's a film reviewer called Mark Kermode in the UK. And they used to be on radio, him and Simon Mayo doing their film review show. They now do a podcast, and they do a video version of it. And I noticed a couple of weeks ago he had one of these microphones with the Shure written on it. And then I noticed last week he put a bit of tape over the Shure. So that's what you do. If you don't want people seeing it, you put a bit of tape over it.
Yeah. If you're not paid, why show it?
Mine says F deuce.
Yeah.
You see, that's also the difference of approach. So I can't think of you, Steve, or you, Kurt, any other than within your little studio. My whole business, also the new one, is designed to be put on a 12.5-inch laptop, and that's it. If it doesn't fit there, no chance. So I'm sitting here.
You must have quit.
The one thing I like about my setup now is I'm on a Mac Mini.
Me too.
That Mac Mini with a keyboard and mouse, you can throw in a case, you can take anywhere you want with you. You can get to a hotel with an HDMI lead, plug it in the TV in your hotel room, and you're up and running.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hi, Carl.
Hey, Carl.
Hi there.
Welcome. Did you get my email?
Yes, about this. About this, yeah. That's why I'm here for once.
Good deal. Then I know it's working.
Of course, we could probably help Mr. Stephen come up with a bit of extra bonus value for his thing.
I need $500 worth. I've got the JV page thing. That's worth $50, $100.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. That's got a video with it, so $100. I don't know what else I'll put in there. I'll do things like stop words. Don't use these words. That kind of thing. I've got a bit on custom GPTs, which I didn't want to put in the main product, just in case people can't access them. But yeah, that's going in there. That's probably worth.
Check your private chat, Kurt, and see what you think. Anyway, yeah, we can. I'm just thinking idea. We've done this before. We could do something again.
That's an interesting idea.
We could give you a coupon for Society 11 as well. You could tuck in there.
Oh, wow.
So you could give everyone a month for free as part of the bonus value. It'd also be tied, if they continue paying, be tied to your affiliate ID. Right. We've done that for other Society 11 members who have wanted to put bonuses together, so we could do.
Right. That'd be awesome.
Okay, well,
we can do that. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, wonderful.
That's another $37 closer to your $1,000.
And 11 cents.
And it adds up pretty quickly. You start
and 11 cents. You got to add that.
11 cents.
And 11 cents. Yeah, and 11 cents. The Doris, we're getting a bit of
the email's working. We have to send out emails about this. That's what it is.
Yeah. Did you only put the direct link, or that you something on YouTube?
I sent them the FNMR. And then right above the videos is the link to join us live here.
Cool.
Yeah, another thing with Steve's course, the one that's coming out is Steve and I, we had a chat one night about certain things that are in the making and going, and we stopped at, I think it was almost 2 a.m. my time. And he sent me review access, so 1 a.m. UK. He sent me review access. And
I just got a message in the morning that said, thank you for the insomnia. I've gone through all of Simple Sales pages, and the only reason that he hadn't finished the email one was because his phone battery ran out.
I only wanted to see the intro video, and watched almost the whole course through until the sun was already shining again. So I'm glad people like it. Easy to understand. Yeah, and I, with Steve's permission, I gave the link to Rita, and she watched the front end course and said, wonderful, I can understand it, because English is not her first language, and with some American or some Irish accents, she has certain problems.
That's because, unlike other internet marketers, I speak with an English accent.
You almost sound like Hannibal Lecter there, just for a second.
No talks, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was Welsh, of course. That was.
Yeah.
He's yeah.
It's not unusual.
we were having a chat earlier, and we're coming up with ideas. So we've got a brand new feature called features that are probably never going to be a feature again. And this is one of our brilliant little game show ideas. So we're going to try playing it now. I'll play it with Kurt. We'll see how it goes.
The stakes are so high now. Who wants a potato? It's time to find out now. Are you ready to show?
So Kurt,
I'm Irish.
I love that. I love that music.
Would
It's
you?
fantastic.
It's good, isn't it? Would you, Kurt,
Yeah.
like a potato?
The Irish part of me is screaming yes.
There you
Yes,
go.
I would like a potato.
Look, That's basic. It needs work, I think, that feature, but we'll see where it goes anyway. But that's basic idea. That is a
I
feature
did
that we'll
notice
probably
I
never do
missed
again.
the continuing insert that you do most weeks, but I just saw the graphics coming on screen as I came in.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
We always like to check those things. Yeah. Who knows where this will go? But yes, random features. There we go. And if you've got a feature idea, send it in on a postcard to
I
someone
do have
else.
this idea that
We
one
have
day
that.
this will be a big thing in a big studio, and nobody will quite know how you've got there, but it'll be there, and there'll be invited guests from royalty to celebrities and things, and it's just
Coming on.
yeah.
Do you want a
just
potato?
start. Do you
Do
want?
you
potato?
want a potato?
perhaps. Perhaps.
It needs
Mark
someone
Hess
like
wants a
Bradley-
potato.
It needs someone like
Hello,
Bradley
Mark.
Walsh presenting it if we're going to do that. It's Mark Hess, the action king.
Hey, what's up?
Brad, who wants?
What's up? Did you get my email?
I got your email, Kurt, and I just couldn't help myself. I needed to see what was going on.
It's Friday night marketing raw.
Yes,
That it is.
it looks raw in here.
It was wrong.
Well, of course it is. Well, the beautiful part is we restructured the IM Pub. We said the pub is done. What we're doing is we're marketers. Let's talk about what we love and what we want to promote and what we want to do and what we're doing. Let's talk marketing. Period. Have fun with it. No political speech. That's outlawed. That's forbidden. Can't talk about the war. Still,
Yeah,
I
don't
think
mention
we
the
mentioned
war.
it once.
any of them.
We did
Not
mention
even mentioning.
We got away with it.
What's war? What
Yes.
exactly. Don't. Any of them.
Yeah.
war?
So what you up to, Mark Hess?
Not
We were
much.
talking about you earlier, actually.
Oh, were you? What were you talking about?
We were talking about video sales letters, and I was saying, you know, if you want to look at people that are out there selling digital information with very simple sales structures, to look at your sales pages, because they are effectively a headline, sub-headline, bullet points, and a video and a buy button, and that's largely all they are.
Yeah, and they convert between 35 and 40%.
Right.
That exact
Exactly.
structure. Yeah. Hey, it's basically a series of just expanded bullet points going down the page. And I mean, that's it. It takes about 4 to 5 to sell, show them what you're selling. And in every single one of them, there is a blurred aspect to it. Like if you notice on every one of my sales pages, it's one of the most effective things ever. And then you put on top of that, you overlay it with revealed inside or something like that.
Mhm.
And
Right.
it's one of the most effective things. Sales videos need to be under 4 minutes long. I mean,
Yeah.
that's it. And you don't want to really shell out everything. And a big part of this is it's like selling blind almost, but without selling blind. Like I have a lot more information on mine, but you need to put a lot of no's on it. No experience, know this, know that, know that,
Yeah,
know that,
right.
know that, know that. And I don't even say that many positive things. I just tell everyone what they don't need. And that I actually like, I think James Ranolf is really good at it.
He is.
And like, so there are certain people, and I really just started selling like that. And it's been I think my last like 5 products all went over. 2 of them went over 1,000 sales, and all of them are like really close. They're showing 500 plus and Warrior Plus, but it's close to. And I mean that's with barely anyone promoting them at all. And one of them was like product of the day and stuff. Yeah, but that's the way to sell, man. It is. I'm telling you, and I just cloned like one over from the other, and it just like a bunch of honest writing, a lot of images, and like I said, like the blur and all that headline. Yeah, you got it, Andy. I mean, you know, like when you see it, but it's a totally different way than like kind of like what a lot of people are doing.
Yeah.
Hi, Mark. Can you guess what I used to make this thumbnail?
Let me tell you, Carl, I absolutely I messed around with that for so long, I can't even tell you. I love it. Like, I really do. Like, yeah, I made like 1 million of them and then had to decide like which ones go on the sales page and all that. Yeah, it's definitely a good method. That looks great, actually.
I'll be right back. I got to do something for my wife real quick.
It's your latest
latest
software or your latest chat GPT prompt. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It works very well.
I was even creating other graphics with them too. Like it's also good for creating like the call to action, like graphics and emails and that kind of thing. You could use it for that too, by just instead of using a video, like use a call to action instead of like a name or something like that. Shorter things like 3 to 5 words work the best. Any longer than that, you give AI time to screw it up, like which it tends to screw up text on images all the time. So
I was playing with ChatGPT today, actually, and I've got it to make 3D models.
Oh, really?
Which I never thought it could do. That you can import into Blender and proper 3D models.
Oh, wow.
They're a bit basic because it's ChatGPT, but I mean, the potential there is amazing. And there are already AI text to 3D model generators out there, or image to 3D model generators. So you can generate a character in Midjourney or in ChatGPT or whatever you want to do, and stick it in one of these things, and it will build the 3D model for you. And they're talking about then rigging that 3D model as well. So at some point in the future, possibly a lot sooner than we think,
probably
you might be able to do that. You know, have all of that run on AI, and then use that as the character for your sales videos if you want to do it in sales or instructional videos or whatever you want.
So when you connect a 3D printer to it, and that gives the phrase "I'm going to make 6 figures this year" a totally new meaning.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, like people when it comes to like AI products, I mean, they're selling like crazy over on the forum. And what I try to do, and what is a big selling point, is free to implement. If you can have a hook or an angle or anything that's free to implement, then hey, it's gold over there, and it should sell really well.
But of course, there have also been some other great top sellers over there recently, haven't there? Like, did you see Gizmo? That was a piece of quality from Billy Dahl there.
Now I didn't. I haven't really paid attention to any of those.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to most of it now.
Sorry, the only Gizmo I like to remember was Bert.
Yeah,
that's it.
A lot traffic this time of year is usually down too. So usually through June and most of July. So a lot of them, like I expect that product that I just released actually do really good, like in any one of my funnels for like upcoming ones and all that. But traffic was definitely I could see it, just the number of clicks just weren't matching up with it being like the time and all that, like summer.
It's the summertime, it always gets quieter. Then on top of that, you've got seeing how many English-speaking countries are now in a run-up to an election, and people do tighten that purse string. So we're a week away from a general election now. You've got America are obviously in election season. France have called us an election. New Zealand are having an election.
Yeah.
So many English-speaking countries or places where there are a significant number of English-speaking people who buy our products are probably in that thing where they're just going, I'm just going to wait and see what happens. There's that, you get that hesitancy state, so you've got to push people a bit harder for this to make the same amount of sales. But it's just a seasonal thing. We've been through it before. We'll go through it again. You just, that's part of it.
Bundle up the best bits and resell it in November.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but outside of that, so what else is going on? What are you kids up to?
Yeah, what am I up to? All sorts of things. I've been completely restructuring my whole business, though. Just making it simpler. I got to the point where, honestly, I would get a support ticket sometimes, and they go, I bought this to me a while ago, and da-da. And yeah, of course you still got access, but and they go, well, what's the access thing? And I was like, oh, fuck. I now have to work out who they pay through, which delivery platform I used. So I've just been absolutely axing stuff and moving stuff to other platforms and just moving existing customers over and then relaunching things. And it's been one of the best moves I've ever made. It's what I spent the first half of this year doing, really. And I've still got a way to go. But, yeah. So I've been massively simplifying and getting things down to basics again, which is funny enough why I was talking about your start of sales page with some people earlier and that sort of thing. And we were just giving illustrations of people to go look at if they want to, model a good, easy, relatively easy.
The shit works. I mean, it is so proven at this point. Like, that's... And I mean, like, the price point, too. I operate at a lower price point because I like moving volume and having a lot of leads and that kind of thing, too. I've always stayed away from, like, 17. Like, I just think $17 is poison on there. I'd take anything over $9 when you could get a lot of leads. Because when you have a lot of those buyer leads, then you start having those $2,000 and $3,000 affiliate promotions and then winning contests on top of that just because you just can send 1,000 hops to something. And I mean, like, that's something that, like, I've always done. I forget the last one that I promoted, and it was just it was $4,000 in affiliate commissions to me, plus like 500 in contests. So I mean, it's like, I'm just always, it's easier to over deliver when the price point is low than when people are kind of, refunds are always lower too, and I just feel more comfortable selling in that price point. So that's why I always do.
That's the great thing about this marketplace, though, isn't it? There's room for everyone and every price point and every. So, has anyone given us a sub niche yet? No,
not yet.
We're not going to do it this week. We'll do it next week.
Well, there we go.
We'll be out of time. So,
what is this Snapifier?
What a good question.
Oh no, he opened the box.
I want to know because this looks like it has Kurt written all over it.
It does.
It looks like a Kurt thing.
Yes.
And I know it's a Kurt thing because he just couldn't help himself with Product Dino. Just had to put that extra little thing in there. Or is that what happened? That's
totally that's an actual upsell, but yeah, it's cool. A way that you can lock content with a license, but there's also other ways that you could do it without Product Dino that I have built into it.
I just mean the actual
Product Dino is like a Product Dino is a membership and content delivery system that used to be quite good.
Yeah, I remember promoting it when it first came out.
I'm slowly moving everything on to learn.
Slowly deteriorating and getting very shit.
I'll tell you what it's good for. It's good if you build a website and you want to protect the website. But if you try and edit content in it, it doesn't always work.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is a real problem. It's real
horrible.
So we have...
I like the layout of those pages, Kurt, and the page elements. I want to see this.
Oh, yeah, page elements. A link, just a regular link.
Yeah.
This is the beautiful part.
Before you get right into this, I do want to say that it's worth noting that although we're knocking Product Dino, it could be worse. It could be Thrive Learn.
Learn's great. I've used it for my stuff. The trick with Learn is to not use Thrivecart.
Yes.
You know, Steve, you are so right about that.
I programmed something.
Yeah.
I programmed something where if I sell something on Warrior, I can get the guy into Learn. It'll send them the account and everything. It's easy enough to do. They've got API access for everything. And Learn is, as a platform, just for delivery, is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
It looks really slick back in there.
Yeah.
I haven't used it because of that, because I actually contacted their support and they were like, "Oh no, you can't. There's no way for people to create their own content or like create their own account or something like that."
Yeah.
I forget what the issue was, but
You've got to do it through code. I really should package that up and sell it, to be honest, but it would be.
That's one of those things, Steve, that is so freaking useful to the right person. But it's just finding all those right people.
Yeah.
You know, and then getting them to realize the value. It's God, it's like that's like the toughest thing when you're sitting on something like that that's so good, but like so specific. It's the most frustrating thing in the world.
So this is the page that you went to, Mark.
Yes.
And
I kind of figured it was like this.
This is just text. Now I can exclude it from content locking. So if I lock this, you could see this and it's not hidden. And of course, join the live stream. It's just a link. We update that new window, or you could do current window, or you could do a light box. As long as it's iframeable, you're good to go. And then live stream RSS feed. Well, this is the RSS feed from that channel. So those 4 videos that you see there, it's coming directly from YouTube. Click on any of them. You can start watching the video right there. And then, of course, we have a free book from Writer Hub Online you can download. And then, of course, our YouTube channel. You can go there and get subscribed or join Society 11.
Yeah.
Right there inside of it. It's simple as easy. The content locking, I think you're going to love. You can have it public-wise. You can lock behind a form, which you could then send to a webhook, or it just gathers into a CSV. Totally up to you. You add your own fields, email, name, whatever. That one's easy, but that's not the one that I think you're going to love. Lock behind a password is the one that I think that you're going to love.
That's cool.
You put in the title for it, and then you make up your own passcode. You take that passcode, you put it inside your autoresponder. This is the link that goes to your autoresponder sign-up form. And this is the link that they can also, that's the get access here or whatever, get your free passcode here. Then they come back and log in using that passcode. And you know that it's a double opt-in email because they have to get, it's a valid email because they have to go get
they have to get the password.
That's right. That is the simplest content locking it is. And then, of course, we do have lock behind Product Dino. We work with their API directly. It is, I'll come over to the Society 11 one. Come down here. And if I click on settings, integrations, and then click here to update. That's my API key, which I'll change after this. The collection ID or the product ID. The collection ID, and then what payment gateway. So I put in all the payment gateways that people can get access to Society 11. If they are not part of it, guess what? They don't get access. Done deal. This is how tightly we can integrate. Or if you're just part of a collection, they're good to go. You don't have to have a single payment gateway ID. I tried to make it as easy as possible.
Thank you for your API, Kurt.
Well, like I said, I could change it in about 3 seconds.
The amount of times I have to change API keys because I've done training videos or live. I've just gone in and shown them and then thought, now I've got to change them all again. Yeah.
DD, yep. I'll grab that one to get rid of that one. So, yeah. I'll stop sharing now. But there you go. I mean,
That's
it
cool.
really.
That content locking is, that's slick.
I knew you'd like it.
That is really slick.
Well, that idea didn't come directly from me. I will say that. Came from Andy.
It does
Andy
make
gave me
it
that
a
idea.
product. And it makes it, I mean, I'm using it for my homepage now.
Yeah, I saw you link to it. Yeah, in your one email, Andy, and I was like, that's pretty cool. And that, I mean, most people just need something simple like that.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there you go. This is my where my website points now. So that goes straight to my Gumroad store, which has got just about all my current products on it because I'm not really selling it on other platforms now. A weekly deal that gets updated. Since I changed, this has been on my website for years now, right? The amount of uptake in people clicking this and signing up has gone through the roof. Yeah, it was always on the front page. So, and also my sign-ups for this particular form, because I wanted to go through that. My blogs are all on Medium now, and that's starting to already do well. And
right, you can pull the RSS.
That's pretty smart putting that on Medium.
Yep,
I think so too. Actually, I really like Medium. I just fucking hate WordPress. So I always have done.
Do you know where else is good though for that kind of stuff? Is Substack.
Yes, I've been told I could probably also have a Substack thing.
Dude, like with their free email integration and like everything else, and if you really play with SEO and that kind of thing, a lot of their stuff ranks really well.
Yeah. But you know what else you could do? Patreon.
Yes.
Yeah. Patreon is the same sort of thing. You don't have to have private posts on Patreon, but you could have something which points to a post on Patreon. If they then start to explore and they find that there's some things that are locked, they might pay you every month. You can
also misuse services like Buy Me a Coffee or Ko-fi or whatever as a kind of microblogging thing.
Yeah, Ko-fi's kind of getting into that actually at the moment, isn't it? It seems to.
They're a step ahead of Buy Me a Coffee.
Yeah.
But and we can embed both of those directly inside of Snapify too. Just FYI.
Yeah. Because I think there is quite a lot of potentials in just having those small coffee tips instead of plastering your things with all kind of offers or advertising or whatever.
Well, some creators make their living with those sort of micro tips. Yeah. There are people who make resource packs for Minecraft. So resource pack, it changes the color of the blocks or changes the texture of the blocks. And you can subscribe to them for like $1 a month. And they're making thousands and thousands of dollars because it is such a big platform and because a lot of people like their resource packs. So that microtransaction thing is still, I think, a really good route to market if you can get the numbers. That's
the only thing is that with those platforms you are still the merchant on record, which is coming more and more unbearable.
I think that depends where you live as well. Certainly,
yes,
Europe. Yes, it's
in the US. In the US, it's not a problem. You get your 1099 and that's it. In Europe, you have to really put every small fucking cent booking into your auditing software, and that's.
I was having a conversation with an accountant, a friend of mine who's an accountant. No, I didn't pay anybody to be an accountant for me, because I'm not rolling in money, not anymore anyway. And they said that actually in the UK, merchant on record doesn't really mean very much, and HMRC will say, well, the person who should be liable is the person who is benefiting most.
It's not about liability. It's more about accounting. So the reason why
they mean liable to charge to take the tax cut.
Yeah. why I have never sold much on Warrior Plus, because I don't do my accounting myself. Never did. Accounting for me is like wanking with a cheese grater. It's painful and it's not very nice.
It's not overly productive.
Yeah. But you still do it 4 times a year.
It doesn't taste very good when you put it on spaghetti.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, so
number of cheese graters I've ruined.
So I have basically to pay my accountant or a person he hires to do all the accounting. And the old way Warrior Plus was doing the payment. So the customer is paying you, then from your PayPal account, the affiliate amount was taken out. That few cents for Lexico was taken out. All that there were 3 bookings for one low-level front end. So, and I have made the calculation that everything, so my break even being 0 with affiliates was $7, and the dollar exchange rate was a little bit different then, was $7.31. So only if I sell for more than that, I might be might get some revenue out of it. Everything else, it will be sucked up by affiliates, accountants, taxes, and all that.
All taxation is theft. Right, anyway.
And therefore, I did a lot with ClickBank, but ClickBank, since the former CEO of bodybuilding.com is the CEO on ClickBank, they're going into the supplement direction and all those subscription of any physical goods. They're not that platform for info products anymore, but Digistore 24 is a way better replacement, and really working very smooth with them. You're getting your money. You have one thing to book into it, and that's it.
Do you have to
All right, here's some big news in the IM game, isn't there? Pay Kickstart have.
Oh yes, they.
Well, it's Chapter 11. That's
Chapter 11. It's restructuring. It's not 7. Yeah.
Oh, what is it? Mark's what? Pay Kickstart.
Yeah, but
Mark Thompson sold several years ago. He's no longer.
I haven't paid attention to any of this.
Yeah, he sold it to somebody whose name you will know, because they're well enough known that they're a nice person, shit business person. Anyway, that they took it over, and now it's fucked.
Who took it over?
I'm got to go and double check now, because I don't want to say a name and it be wrong. Hang on, let me go look. We did look it up before.
Isn't it? So what? So they went bankrupt.
Matt Callan.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
That says everything, doesn't it?
What I
didn't even know he was still...
nice enough guy, not a business person.
Him and Mark used to release stuff all the time though together.
Yeah.
Now I'm talking. This was early.
Yeah. Because Anyway, so that's.
And then there's a Jared Schneeder. He's now the CEO.
Oh, why do they need
restructuring?
The thing is, when we heard that it was filing per chapter, whatever, we said someone's going to buy it anyway.
Yeah.
The lists and things that's got are going to be worth something, even if the infrastructure's knackered.
Well, had somebody notified those people who bought Convertri and Thrivecart? Probably they're interested in.
Why? What happened to Convert? What happened to Convertri's still up, isn't it?
Convertri's going. Yeah, Convertri are now owned by the same people that bought out Thrivecart. But it turns out that's good news, because what's happened is You remember Thrivecart? They brought in a new team and they completely broke it.
Oh yeah.
So what then happened? That Thrivecart then they thought, let's keep buying stuff. So they bought Convertri, but with Convertri, they didn't get to put their own people in. In fact, it was the opposite. Part of the deal, I think, was that the team stayed on. Then Andy Fletcher goes over to the Thrivecart development thing, and they go, right, we need your help to fix this. So the first thing he did was fire all the people that worked there and brought his own team in and fixed it. And that's what's going on behind the scenes at the moment with Thrivecart. That's why it's working again. But the problem is all of us have lost confidence in it and aren't using it anymore. Because, you know, once the thing fucks up your business that severely, you don't go back to get burnt a second time, no matter who's in charge of it. You know. So, and the thing is, I love and trust Andy Fletcher, but he's employed by this company that initially balls it up. Who knows what ridiculous decision they're going to make next? So I just don't want to get near it.
Yeah.
And it has put me off using Convertri, although Convertri has continued to go from strength.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, I remember you always used to use it. There's a couple of people that they love it. It's
very good. Lloyd still uses it. Yeah, I mean, I use. Once I discovered Nice Page, which honestly was
Nice Page is really good. I wasn't expecting it to be that good.
It's like the hybrid, isn't it? It's like if you takes all the free form of Convertri, but incorporates a really nice block builder too. So you've got the best of all worlds. You can lay your blocks out, and then if you want a headline across 2 blocks, just drag it there. It'll do it.
I suppose the big thing about it, I mean, the desktop version, it's running on a computer. You don't have it's got to run on the internet problem, which has always been, every page builder suffered from that in some way, shape or form. I'm coming from WordPress and I've been using Oxygen. Oxygen, incidentally, is not dead as such, but they're not developing it to the same extent that they used to. Now, having said that, it's a really good tool and it still works. And I only paid $100 for it 4 or 5 years ago, and I've made that money back. But
that's probably why they're not developing it anymore. It was sold for
probably. They have another thing called Bricks or something, and they're Breakdown. Sorry, and they're developing that constantly, but it's not a one-time fee. Everybody who had bought in early said to SoFly, which is the team behind it, hey, look, why don't you start charging monthly for this, because we want this to keep going. They didn't. They just took it onto a different product instead.
Did you ever try? Have you tried Thrive Themes, Steve?
I did try Thrive Themes. It didn't quite have the right mix that I wanted. Oxygen's a lot like Webflow, but for WordPress. And that's exactly what I wanted.
I love Thrive Themes. I don't know why, but it just always worked. Like it's wild. Like it really is. They got bought. Sean sold that to WP Beginner for $1 million. So he's not in there, and WP Beginner took it over.
It is a good. Thrive Themes is really solid, and I always liked it, and I used to use it. And the only reason I don't use it now is kind of because I just came away from WordPress.
Yeah.
I mean, I always used to make my own themes when I was employed as a web designer, that we would start from scratch and we'd just write our own themes. That kind of changed when the page builders started to come along, and you kind of sort of walk back to a point where you go, oh, well, I don't need to do this bit. I'll let something do that. And Oxygen was just that nice balance between the two. You could code if you want. You didn't have to. You had all the visual stuff was visual, and it just kind of works.
Okay, the only thing I got here is that I'm the only one probably who in the last 25 years usually used plain HTML pages written on Notepad.
Yeah, well, you would, you fucking dinosaur.
He's right. Using them in the trenches. Yes.
Sat there with your BBC Model B and your 32K modem.
Yeah.
Oh no, nobody goes with a 32K. We still have that old 14.4 6.
Yeah, but it was U.S. robotics.
No US over here in Europe.
The dusty server in your closet, bought off eBay, running on your shit. Yeah.
I'm glad I
somehow
know
connected
how to edit an HTML file in Notepad because
Yeah.
it does come in useful. But as for the primary method of building HTML, I learned a long time ago there are much quicker, more effective ways. And do it. I mean, it's like all those things, isn't it? It's like those people that go, "Well, I can program an assembly language." You go, "Great, I could at one point," but just because you can, don't mean you should. There are easier, better ways, and you know,
Probably,
if you're really hardcore, program in fucking binary, you cunt. It'll take you forever.
I remember getting a magazine, and it had a thing on the front.
Fashion anymore.
I remember getting a magazine. It had a thing on the front: "Learn to program in assembly," and I spent about 20 minutes looking at it and went, "Nope, this isn't for me. This really isn't for me."
I did a long time. I did the things myself. Then I outsourced it because it took me longer and longer to do it. And now I'm doing it with Claude. Text to code, totally simple.
Yeah.
Well, I actually made a video about this as well for someone. The form you see on my website to sign up to my email list, that isn't given by my email provider, nor is it given by anything else. That was me going to ChatGPT and getting it to design a form that would link my autoresponder to a webhook. I didn't write any of that code. It wrote it all for me. It made it secure. It made it work. Job done.
Something that you can do in ChatGPT. DaVinci Resolve, which I've been using to edit video now for a couple of years, has a thing built in called Fusion, which is basically After Effects, only it uses nodes and it uses code. And ChatGPT can write the code that makes DaVinci Resolve make animations.
Yeah.
So if you want DaVinci to do stuff, you can do it. And on my sales page at the moment, the video on it has a bit where the box slides in. That was done using ChatGPT, just telling it what animation you wanted.
I like Claude for programming a little bit more because it's more up to date. It's cleaner code, and for web pages, sales pages, squeeze pages, whatever, it's absolutely. You're just telling, just make the headline a bit bigger, make it red, change the font, all that. You just type it in. And it's updating the code, and it's absolutely well structured, commented, brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
There's a kid on YouTube, several of these, but there's one particular kid I was watching on YouTube, and he does these challenges, and he's not a programmer or anything, and he did, can I write a game using just ChatGPT and whatever? So he went to ChatGPT, he said, what should I make the game? And it's just something free, like I think Unity, a free version of Unity. He said, okay, do you know how the structure of Unity? It said yes. Installs Unity, and then he starts seeing it what it wants, and it tells him where in Unity to paste what.
Yeah. And
very quickly he had a working game in like an hour, and he's never written a game in his life.
And Claude Sonnet, their latest version, and I don't use Claude at all, but they did that, and that wrote a game. Like straight up, like I heard that version outperforms ChatGPT by a ton, but I never use it. There's a few people that have purchased things from me that said, "Yeah, I tried this on like Claude and it worked like great." So I would love it.
Yeah, I have both. I have the pro version of ChatGPT and Claude. In Europe, Claude was in the European Union, to be precise. Claude was only available. Claude Pro was only available since mid of May, and I'm using Claude for fiction writing and coding because it's really way better than ChatGPT in that direction, and I'm using ChatGPT for non-fiction writing, research, because it has internet access and all that. Claude is lacking that. Well, basically, I would need a Claude GPT, both have their advantages and their prominent features.
A little while ago, and this was before GPT 4.0. I think we were still on 3.5. We might have just had the first versions of 4 coming along. And I was chatting to Steve. Hello, Steve.
Hello.
He said, my customer's got this thing where we need a plugin in WordPress that will do this and this. And I went, okay, doesn't sound too complicated. I don't know how you do it, but let's. And I went to ChatGPT, and within half an hour, we had
it made, didn't we? And then we sold it.
Yeah. And because obviously it helps if you know a bit about coding. So I was able to tell it the right things, like make sure everything's sanitized, make sure it's secure code, make sure it's this. And that plugin is still selling to this day. And it took us half an hour to write the entire thing using ChatGPT. We didn't write a single line of code.
Yeah, if you take some existing knowledge, and especially if you know how to frame things and how to, it's wild. But it does take that initial, and it's amazing how just one word can totally tweak and change absolutely everything. Like within that, I mean, it is wild. It surprises me every time. You can ask it the same thing almost the same way with just a different synonym, and it will produce a completely different result for you. It's wild.
The interesting thing is how swayable GPT is. It's a giant fucking yes man. So you do have to watch that a bit, but you can use it to your advantage sometimes. But for example, if you just give GPT a bit of sales copy, any bit, just take a random thing you've written, chuck it in and say, evaluate this sales copy on a score of 1 to 10 for how effective you think it would be. And I tell you, almost every time, if you give it no context, it will score it somewhere around 5 to 6 out of 10. If you say, here's some sales copy I found that, I'd score 8 out of 10, but what do you think? It will score it somewhere between 7 and 9. And if you say, I think this copy's shit and only scores 2 or 3, it will agree with you. It's same thing, same copy every time. So how much can we even trust I give it 5 out of 10? We don't know. So much of this is subjective still, because you can sway it. It's like, if I want to write a blog article and I want to mention a piece of software that I'm an affiliate for in that, I can say, and then bring in a positive way this thing. It won't bring out anything. It might mention one little bad point that it immediately overcomes with a positive.
Yeah.
And just like
I've had that actually when I'm writing videos, because a good chunk of the first 4 months of me making Doctor Who videos, the scripts were all written in ChatGPT. And to get it to review something and not to be completely positive about it was impossible. It's just you couldn't. You eventually had to say this bit doesn't work and this bit isn't good. So you basically had to review the thing yourself and say, this is where the script falls down. Make sure you include this. Otherwise, it wouldn't do it. It was too positive about things.
I like with ChatGPT. What I do is I take someone else's sales copy, paste it in. I say, based on this, this is my product. I want you to come up with something based on this other content, and it'll come back at me, and then I'll put it onto a normal document, and I'll read through it, and I'll go, would I say that? I tweak it, I play around with it. But I'll be honest with you, for my sales copy and my sales style, I am actually becoming someone who's in this room, Mr. Mark Cass, because I fucking love your sales pages.
We were talking about it earlier.
Yeah. I really do. It works.
I was telling Mark earlier that I was chatting to some people, and I won't make it's no secret. We were on a live Inside Society 11, and we were talking about how success leaves clues, and just the fact that you want to learn to do certain things, and people are going, I can't do this, and we go look at this. Is that converting? Could you do that? Right, model, not copy, model it. Because that's what we all do. I mean, it is copying. But it's like you adapt it for your product, you adapt it to your style. And
Mark's style, in my opinion, is no bullshit, right? I hate these sales pages. You go on, right, and the first thing I do, I go to the JV page, And there's 16 upsells, and I go, I'm not buying that shit with 16 upsells. With Mark, you go in, right, and he goes, here's something fucking cheap, right? If you don't want it, don't fucking buy it. But if you do, it's going to help you. So you buy it, right? And then there's this other upsell, which you see the value of because of the way you present it, Mark. And I go, well, fuck it, I'll buy that as well because it's cheap. And I don't mind buying 3 or 4 things from you in a row, because everything you've done that I've ever bought from you has been fucking value every time.
I look at Warrior Plus a different way than like a lot of people. I look at it as a traffic and the lead source, right? And I also look at each sales page or anything else for most people as a lottery ticket. And what these are $7 to $10 scratchers. And I always say that people will always buy 3 of them versus one $30 ticket. They'll walk away from a $30 ticket, but they'll always buy $10 scratchers. And that's pretty much what it is. And like my copy style, it looks like it's no nonsense. And like down there, and I tell you everything that there is, but also leaving and blurring out other things. So it looks like it's very honest copy while also being really blind in a lot of sense. And I did that more on like Percent AI and some of my other products than I have on that. It was interesting. I was going to release a copy product that they don't sell, but I'd love to just get on video and actually go through my offers and kind of just tell you exactly like what I do, because I think I love talking about it. Like, so that's cool that you guys like all brought it up. I really appreciate it because it does convert. Like right now, you can look back on that offer and it's converting at 35%. Like my latest one. So I mean, like it does. It's so simple and it's easy to write. You just kind of it's like writing bullet points.
I would say the thing about copy products is it isn't they don't sell. They don't sell to the Warrior Plus and JV Zoo crowd. They are looking for the scrap. People that want to learn to do business properly buy copy products because they realize, well, if I learn how to sell, I can do everything.
You can do anything you want.
Right.
I said to Pat Flanagan earlier, I'm not releasing a copy product. I'm releasing you don't have to copy product. You don't have to write product. That's the thing. Because mine is all write it with ChatGPT, so it's done. But
I did a product on ChatGPT on another Gumroad account, right? And it's all written by ChatGPT, the whole lot. And I read through it to make sure it made sense. Threw it up and gave it away. And I left it up. And since it's been up a couple of months. I've had 68 sign-ups. and now I'm marketing to those people other shit related to that, right? And I've just and it was literally I joined your course, Mark, where you are helping others, with ideas on how to market and stuff like that. I can't remember all of it, but the fact was it dawned on me how well your videos work, and you don't need very much copy underneath. That's the funny thing about it. It's literally, here's something, this is what it fucking does, come and buy it, right? And by the way, there's a little bit of info below if you really want to read it, but you're not going to read it because you're fucking lazy. You're just going to buy my shit for $10 and never do anything with it.
Well, don't forget the whole magic button idea was that you don't have any copy underneath. You have the video, and then at some point during that video, the button appears. So you don't need copy. You just need people to watch the video.
But let's face it, everything below $10 is an impulse buy. And if you present that impulse buy with some reason in it, and not being too salesy or whatever, and what Mark said, having some blurs in it and all that, making it a little bit of creating a little bit of suspension about the thing. And it is something that you clearly define. You put that in and you get that out and you can use it for that. It's a no-brainer.
Kurt and I once were having this thing where we were discussing how little copy you can get away with and it still actually convert at a decent rate. Maybe not as good as if you put in it, but and what the best one we did was it 78 words?
78 words, exactly.
I think they included the headline.
Yep.
And it was that and a buy button. And there was nothing. There was no video. There was no anything. It was, and what was the price point?
$11.
Yeah, that was. Oh, it was 11.11, I think, because it was tied into when we were playing with the whole 11 thing. Yeah, 1111, and it sold fucking loads. It converted like gangbusters.
I think the least amount of words you can go away with and people buy is the Niffler did it, buy.
To give someone a strong enough hook, you know, if you say, "If you've got a problem, if I can solve this problem for you, will you give me £5? People go, "Yeah."
I bet you I could do it in 4 sentences. In 4 sentences on a video, and if I had to buy an outline, I bet you I could sell. I could sell.
It's elevator pitch. If you nail an elevator pitch, you got it.
Honest to God. Yeah.
I think we should all take Mark's videos, right, and put a masterclass together based on his videos and sell it for $10. We'll probably make money.
Well, that's easy. All you do is you take all the content from his videos, you put that in ChatGPT and say,
"Right, hang on,
like this bit based on Mark Cash."
Honestly, God, the wild thing about it is like some of my videos, like, and I mean, these have sold 1,000+ copies, like on Warrior Plus and all that. Is a video of just me reading the sales page to these people for 2 minutes, pointing out all the highlights, and then telling them to buy. I said it's all below. And then I just scroll down the sales page and basically read it along, making sure to hit all those things. Like, this is how you do this. And like, yeah, and then it's just casual. And it's like,
one of the best TV ads making the most money was a late night TV ads for some premium numbers here in Germany, and the call to action was basically a girl in a latex leather suit saying, "Call me now."
I would have said to her, "Call me, it's fucking cheaper."
Well, Steve, we're not doing body shaming here, but no, you can't mess with that girl.
Right, rewind a bit. A moment ago, Steve was going, "Oh, you know, do this and make it a mascot." Think about this on Warrior Plus. You ever come across a guy called Paul Coleman? What is a Paul Coleman product?
Paul Coleman, he's another good example of writing it the same way. This is this, blah, blah, blah.
Now, he does written copy, but it's just short sentences, and his products are laid out the same. And what are his products? It's not how he did anything. It's, I noticed this woman over here, and she's doing this.
Like James Renault style. Like that's that. James has made over $1 million on Warrior Plus doing that. Just noticing things and saying, "Oh, well, here's this and that," and then
you're being a reporter.
Oh God, yeah, a lot of James' products are. This is a platform that I like to use. Go and use it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Give me $10.
Like,
thank you.
The videos are on YouTube. Like, it's all in like I think Microsoft Word document. It's like and I mean over $1 million. Like, you don't realize how low the bar is, and how being smart is such a detriment in this space. Almost
I'm so screwed.
And the bar, no, it is, because people overthink everything. I mean, there are people that are making millions. I don't know how they tie their shoes in the morning, honestly. And it's just like, because it's so counterintuitive. Like, when you just see problems and trying to protect everything and this and that, and just like going over every sentence is when, I mean, there are guys that I just stopped with all of it. I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna like, I don't know. It is.
I think that thing isn't there.
For years.
I think it's not so much. Very few people are too stupid to make money online, but there are plenty that are too clever, and they let their own intellect trip them up. It's that age-old thing. You are not your customer.
Problems.
So
that happens to me all the time.
So people sit there going, "Well, I don't like upsells, so I'm not going to do them." Well, good for you, but they fucking convert. I don't like them either, but I do them because they make me money. You do the math. It doesn't matter if you like it. You're not your customer. That's the point. And people that are dumb don't stop and think about whether what they're doing is dumb, and they don't stop about thinking what other people think. They just do it because they're too stupid to know if they're doing wrong.
There is a whole level of behavioral economics, of behavioral science, which is based on the idea that people do dumb things, but when they do those dumb things, it turns out right for them. There is way back when behavioral economics started. There was it started because people were noticing that economic models that economists were spending months making these economic models. They didn't work. You put them against anything real world and it didn't work. And the reason was that they were modeling this econ, they called it, the perfect person to be inside the thing, assuming that they would optimize their lives for everything that you would optimize for. But the fact is, we don't do that. You know, you can see somebody make the stupidest of decisions, or what you think might be the stupidest of decisions, and yet it absolutely works for them because they haven't optimized what they're going to do. They've optimized what they need at that time.
And they've taken the action above
Yes.
everything else. They've just fucking done it.
It's again consistency. If you think back, the old Sean Mice method on throwing cheap courses on Warrior Plus, which sounded like just somebody talked into a cola can.
They weren't that good.
Yeah.
Sounded like he was being fucking waterboarded while they were being recorded.
I've started making some money on Udemy.
But if you really churn the product out, solving one small problem. Now with AI, I would probably go with prompts or something else. Churning out every 3 days a prompt, explain the prompt, giving it. You will have you can't escape making money.
There's somebody who does that, isn't there? There's a guy who runs an email list where you pay for access to it, and every few days he sends a prompt through.
I think Alessandro, he does a good job with that, and he's always releasing stuff.
Yeah,
and I think he's one of the best examples of somebody who just takes action. And I mean, if you're on his list, he can't speak English. He can't, his writing. Mm-hmm. There's no gimmick, and that's all it is. And all this guy does is make money on Warrior Plus. That's all he does. And tell me exactly what skill set that he has.
He does
outside of taking action all the time and just doing the same basic things over and willing to just do it.
The other thing is he's willing to partner with others without it. Yep, that's the other thing. Because he understands their customers may not be on my list.
Yeah.
If I JV with them, guess what? They will be on my list.
He's really interesting. I think there's some guys in there. Like we were talking earlier about James Ranolf. I think that he's and he's been selling in years the same way. And everyone knows kind of like what you're going to get. And yet you have to keep buying because the damn thing is so good. It's like, well, what if this is the one? What if this time he's going to turn me on to something that and I think that's kind of why he keeps going. It's like that. It's like the carrot, that's out for it. Well, what if this is the time? And he's bounced from crypto to all around. And he's sold a really vast variety of things on Warrior Plus.
And what you always have concede is he's the master of blind copy.
Yes, 100%. And even with him, that's where I started modeling. It wasn't a "What would Jesus do" bracelet. It was "What would James do" when I was writing.
Yeah, what would James do?
It got a lot better. So
we need to start. We need to get some of them made.
Yeah, the thing with James' product is
you don't need to have just down the list of no's.
The thing with James' product is you can have a full hit for $10 or a full failure. I remember one thing. It was about Reddit. That was dead in the water at the very moment the launch started. With Reddit, it's always walking on the blade because Reddit is very, very special.
I know that somebody, Tony Hayes, I really like Tony Hayes, and he's promoted some of my stuff, and I've done really well on some of his. I sent him a ton of sales. I like it. But he did a Reddit software, and I wanted to hit him back because him and his daughter I guess, sent a bunch of
Yes.
sales to me, and I was gonna hit it, right? But then the software, it was priced at $27, and he told people what it was. He told people, oh, well, it was this Reddit software and all that. And immediately, if he would have wrote that blind and that software would have been just $17 and then upsold it to whatever else, he would have murdered it with the blind traffic software copy. He would have murdered it. And like it or not, the vast majority of people that buy your stuff will never go through it. And I mean, I've done that just because of us tracking WordPress plugins for years. And I mean, I've sold tens of thousands of WordPress plugins. But even outside of that now, my delivery is linked up with System.io. So you can see how many people buy and then end up putting their email address in to actually get access to the product, because I have like a break. And there is always, it's literally less than 50% of people actually do it. And I mean, with this last one, like it was a cool little product. It was a cool little like $7 product. And I love that you're using it, Carl. Like that, yeah, that's awesome. Like it did exactly what it was meant to do. You know what I mean? And I like releasing that kind of stuff. I mean, the product only took the whole thing between all of it took less than 8 hours to like do and like put together. And I don't know. That's kind of like what I like releasing.
I've nearly finished something on automation which involves PLR, ChatGPT, and Udemy, and Pictory, and it basically I'm almost at the point where I can take any PLR, convert it to what I want, convert it to a video, and auto upload it with all the bells and whistles filled in on Udemy, and then sell it dirt cheap. And I've got one product up on already that I'm already making money from, and I'm testing this to see if I can generate over the next 3 to 4 weeks as many products as I can based on the PLR I've got. And then I'm going to eventually, I think I'm going to run out of PLR products, PLR shit, and I have to get some more.
What you need to do, honestly, is get if you could do that, is get ChatGPT to write all the products, and then you sell PLR to those products on Warrior Plus. When you get a list of PLR buyers, it is like it's nonstop. And people love that. They hoard PLR like you would not believe. If you have a hardcore list of PLR buyers, that's what I would do with it.
And then I'm taking it one.
The other day, Kurt was talking to somebody about ideas for Snapify and things you could do with it, and he went, "Oh yeah, probably use PLR for that." And he went, "Yeah, how much PLR have you got you could use?" And the guy replies,
4 terabytes.
4 terabytes. And we went, "How much of that have you ever used?" "Oh no, I've just bought it and collected 4 terabytes." What the fuck is it?
Do you know what else really sells? And this is true. Like any type of prompt product really sells too.
Yes.
And like so if you can, like something that I do, and I think I did this with like 2 or 3 products now, where it's like the master prompt that produces other prompts. So you take like I always give people like the master prompt, and then I basically fill it with information, and then that tells them, and then I'm like, well, you need to create 10 prompts for me out of this. And I did it with the thumbnail product with Human Writing Machine, which I really like, and like, but it gets you to write 10 prompts. And then you take one of the 10 that it writes that you can actually see what kind of content you're getting, instead of telling ChatGPT to write it directly, and then you tell it to write. Based on one of those 10 prompts that you already picked out. But that's where you see like the 500 prompt products, the 300 prompt, like Alice Andrews sells it. That's all they're asking ChatGPT to do. And then they're just pasting all those prompts in and being like, oh, well, here's 300 prompts to teach you how to do this. And all of them, when you could keep doing like the same thing, but all those are selling because people love prompts. They collect that. They collect PLR. It's like
it's a thing. It's like WordPress plugins, though, isn't it? It's that when something comes out, somebody goes, "Oh, but I might need to do this on my site at some point." They don't need it now. They buy it for the future, which never happens. But you know, it's.
And I sold, and I mean, I used to log on to people's sites, and they would have 60 to 70 WordPress plugins on there, and it's like, well, where the hell do you even start?
Yeah,
and And it's all there are also people that they spend all day just contacting people's help desks with this problem and that problem because they're so afraid to get started. So it's always something that they think that's holding them back when it's really not. I mean, what else do you need? I could, with that software that Kurt just showed me, I could start a whole 6-figure freaking business if I want. If all I did was beat the hell out of the one thing and that's all I talked about all day long. And because that's all you need, a couple links on a website and an email list, and you build a 6-figure business. And if you're talking about it all day and beating the shit out of the same thing, you're not going to fail. It's impossible.
Correct.
I built a Snapify thing out of some old content that I produced in the past, just freshened it up a bit, made it effectively into a cheat sheet where it basically talks about all the method, gets up to of what you really need to know, and then you've got to unlock that. And so they put in their email and it unlocks it, and they can then see the rest of it. And then I can obviously, what I haven't done yet, but will be doing, is I've got a little software product that will be a perfect upsell, and I'm going to plug that in to anyone that subscribes. They'll then get pitched that. So,
Barb Lane with their cheat sheets.
Yes. Here's the other thing.
Really good at
Dynamic.
really nice.
Well, here's the thing. It's dynamic cheat sheets because you could pull in RSS feeds from blogs, Medium, Stack. What was the one that you
Substack. Everything that has an RSS feed.
Absolutely.
And it does. And if it doesn't has an RSS feed, you can make an RSS feed from it somehow.
Yes. Well, there are loads of tools out there that you can make your own RSS feeds with.
Yeah.
But it's got Steve, a couple of favorites. But.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
nobody gets that. I think that's one of the best technologies that nobody gets or never really caught on like it should. And it's so it's so useful, and it just never really. People are like,
well, that's why it's still there, though. It's never died.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, originally, I think wasn't, as far as I can recall, the first recollection I have of RSS feeds was used to summarize Usenet groups on the web, and then it developed. You might be right, I think. Yeah.
I remember doing a product on RSS in 2009 on the Warrior forum in the WSO section. Forget what the hell it was, but it was pretty clever. Forget what I used to like releasing products over there. That's when we used to get everyone all lined up and fill the first 5 threads with all the affiliates promoting, talking about how great the product was.
The first time I heard about RSS and making it commercially viable for me was a product also in the WSO section of the Warrior Forum by Peter Drew. Whatever.
Yeah,
it was about 20 years ago.
I remember him. Yeah.
He's still going. He is.
Isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, he's gone into the automatic ways to boost your videos and shit using Twitter and stuff. And I've seen all his software, but everything he can do, I can do with a product called Task Magic. So Task Magic is a browser thing that you can just click away and do shit with. And
browser automation.
If you ever think of buying it, go to dfimagicthemes.com/TM because that's my affiliate link, and I appreciate you supporting me.
I tell you where RSS really kept going, and that's podcasts. All the podcast directories and engines that people are using are all run off RSS. In fact, if you go to,
technically speaking, Friday Night Marketing Raw is a new podcast. Technically speaking.
Technically.
We should go to RSS and set up a podcast thing on there because you can do that for free. And then we
can I just set up an email to go out every Friday at 4 p.m. Central.
And one of the bonuses is a thing called Podcast Advantage. You might have heard of it. I don't know.
Yeah, there rings a bell, but a small one.
Well, you only need to ring a small bell because that's how big they are on YouTube.
We are approaching 2 hours live on YouTube.
Yeah, we're about to stop going live so we can just chat off, and then we can say all the stuff we can't say on our live stream. So thanks for live streaming.
Yeah, we're going to be sharing all our affiliate links internally now.
I thought we were just talking and using live stream and StreamYard as a platform. I didn't know that.
We're actually going to YouTube, so people who don't want to come on and talk can still watch, gain knowledge,
Are there
See
any
what we're all
people
working
watching
on?
this?
Yes, there are.
Three watching, but I tell you what, we get a lot of people will watch the replay later on in the week. Anyway, those that are watching the stream, bye.